What's up, people? It's your man Herbal Lover coming from your mama's basement. Before we get into this segment, I just want to make sure you guys understand and realize one thing. The Laker fan base is like when somebody take a dump. You never know what's coming out that booty hole, man. Oh, jeez, man. We win 2 games in a row. The first thing we do is, when the first game we won, Brandon Ingram went off for 29. And, there was nothing really said when Brandon Ingram went off for 29. There wasn't really too much talk. Kuzma goes off for 41, and then we start the debate that Kuzma is better than Brandon Ingram fiasco. Then this game right here, neither one really showed up. I mean, Brandon Ingram had a beginning start, but then he kind of like died off, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But once he died off, then you hear, so-called fans, on Twitter, oh, go ahead and trade him for this person or that person, do this and that. But the same ones, the previous game were like, all praises to Kuzma, all praises to Brandon Ingram. Oh my God, lost the ball. This is what I call like a double-minded individual who just confused, just don't know what they want. You win some, you're going to lose some. At the end of the day, I've been saying this over and over again. Your players are just as good as your coach, simply put. Regardless of how y'all want to narrow it down, you're only as good as your coach. Some players got that superstar mentality right off the bat. Some players still need development. Prime example, you watched the game last night. The players and the coach both suck. I'm just being honest with you. The players and the coach both suck. And why do I say this? Alright, if you look at the matchup, I know everybody might say, well, damn, Mitchell went off. I mean, he did a lot of things. My gosh. Actually, it wasn't really so much Mitchell who ran off. It was Gobert. By him controlling the paint, pushing players off the block, and allowing Mitchell and them to get in there off of pick and rolls and back screen cuts and stuff like that was the reason why Utah was so successful. Gobert actually beat the crap out of all 3 of our centers. I'm just being honest with you. He beat the crap out of all 3 of them. The best one out of all 3 to actually, and Chandler was only out there for like 5 minutes or so. The only one that really had a good opportunity with him is so much was really Zubac. And I think that's the reason why Zubac got more playing time. But in reality, they just beat us down. This is what their strategy was. When the Lakers get out on a break, we will foul them to basically prevent them from continuing their break. And that's what Utah was doing. They were fouling the Lakers and preventing them from getting to their breaks. There was a mental breakdown on the Lakers' behalf, because another thing was they weren't getting no foul calls. Especially Zubac. Zubac was getting beat down in the inside. He wouldn't get really no foul calls at all. Alright, so you had that where they wouldn't get no foul call. That was the mental breakdown on the players. LeBron James does it too. I had spoke on that before in my previous video, where we allowed the Houston Rockets, when I said about the Houston Rockets, how the referee was looking out for the Houston Rockets so bad that they just mentally broke down. They got beat by the ref and by the players. The same thing happened here with Utah. Utah made them play into their type of game. Slow the ball down so that way Utah can get set. Because remember, Gobert, one of them guys, he's not going to run up and down the floor every 5 minutes. He can't keep up. So Utah made the Lakers play into their scheme. And by them playing into the Utah scheme, Utah was able to basically put their defense out there and actually show the Lakers what they're about on defense. Utah is a good defensive team. They might be in the top 10. I'm not too sure. I don't really look too much about Utah. I can't really watch it. They're boring to me. I don't like slow-paced games. Back in the days it was cool, like during the playoffs, stuff like that. But to watch it in the regular season, it bores me. I just don't like it. I'm a Showtime Lakers. I love when Magic Johnson used to run the floor. And the Detroit Pistons, all them guys, even Chicago Bulls. I like those type of games. But the Lakers, Magic Johnson was like the best team I used to watch, during his era, is when he used to run up and down the court. I love it. But anyway, Utah basically slowed them down. They fouled them every time they got on the break. Then nothing was really going the Lakers' way when it came to fouls. And even though when they went to the free throw, they converted back to the old Lakers where they wasn't making no free throws. I mean, if you look at it, if you actually look at the stats, freaking Brandon Ingram once again slid it off, 2 for 6. He was the main one getting fouled, man. He main one that went to the free throw line, and then once he started missing free throws, he disappeared in the shadows. He wasn't attacking the basket no more. That's what I'm telling you guys. Another thing is that when you're not getting the calls, you break down mentally. Then on top of that, when you do get the calls and you go to the free throw line and you're not making your shots, you tend to disappear. Lonzo Ball, another one. He played pretty good to me, but at the same time, attacking the basket, he was 3 for 13. Remember now, keep this in mind. He was 3 for 13, all right? He only took 5 3-pointers. All right, so if he only took 5 3-pointers, That means he took what? 5. Let's make sure we count the numbers now. You know, because some people didn't go to school. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That means 8 shots were actually in the paint or a jump shot. He missed a lot of them. Based on the fact that he wasn't getting the foul call or he was shying away from contact again. Because why? At the end of the day, it's a mental thing. With these young players, it's a mental thing because they cannot attack the free throw line. That's their worst enemy, the free throw line. They ain't so much their opponents, it's because they don't have confidence going through the free throw line. Simply put, then Lew Walton, not paying attention to detail when it came to like what was going on the floor, when Utah went on those runs, those spurts. Listen, Josh Hart been struggling for a while. He's been inconsistent, the most inconsistent player on his team. Before we eradicate Kuzma and say, well, no, he had a bad game this game, Kuzma has been the most consistent in that starting lineup with LeBron James and without LeBron James. Let's be honest, he's been the most consistent. So we're not going to beat up on him or Brandon Ingram. We just going to say at the end of the day that Lew Walton, and I keep saying this, should be starting KCP over Josh Hart. The reason why I'm saying this is because here's the thing. It comes down to coaching. The coaching scout the players and say, okay, well, we know what these players can do. Let's take that away from them. Brandon Ingram is not consistent behind the three-point arc. Okay, he's not consistent with his jump shot. He likes to attack the basket. So when Brandon Ingram attacked the basket, what did Utah do? They closed down on him. And by you having Gobert there, he's going to alter their shot. He's the last line of defense that when Brandon Ingram attacks the basket, I'm going to block majority of them shots. I'm going to make him, kick it out or turn the ball over. And that's basically what happened. At the end of the day, you couldn't get no going because Gobert was there. If you're going to go to the basket with somebody like Gobert, you got to go hard. Meaning that you got to dunk the ball. All them layups and all that, no, you got to dunk the ball. To let those centers know that you coming with authority. If you're not going to dunk the ball, then don't even attack the basket. Unless you're real good at a Euro type of play where you can actually, make them guys razzle dazzle and do kind of layups all in the paint. But most of them guys are not that good at finishing around the basket. Kuzma, prime example. Doesn't really dunk the ball. Show them the ball when he go to layup. How many times he got blocked? Many times. Just looked terrible. You know what I mean? Because why? The Utah Jazz control the outcome when it came down to defense. Simply put. JaVale McGee, another one, it was so bad that when Utah got the Lakers to play half court, which y'all know the Lakers are not good at half court without LeBron James and Rondo. When they got the guys to play half court, they did not have nobody to go to because Gobert controlled the inside. And by him controlling the inside, players like Kuzma and Brandon Ingram couldn't find their shot in the inside of the paint. That's the main reason why you have to coach it to him like that's why. Let me go back to it real quick because sometimes I get too excited. This is the reason why I said that KCP should be starting. Because when you got KCP starting, right, that means now the defense have to be honest. If you look at that starting five, and I've been saying this over and over again, the best shooter on that team right now, if you look at the stats, is actually, I guess Lonzo Ball. It's crazy to say it, but he's the best one, but he don't take a lot of shots. So because he don't take a lot of shots, the best three-point shooter on that team, by default, is Kuzma. If Kuzma not hitting, and he's attacking the basket, Brandon doesn't take a three because he doesn't have confidence in his shot. JaVale McGee don't take no jump shots like that, so he can't move Gobert off the paint. That's the reason why I say that Zubac would have been the best choice if I was the Lakers. And the reason why I say that because Zubac out of the three can shoot the 10, 14-foot shot. But because your coach is not telling you this to remove Gobert from the paint to make him come out from the paint, that way somebody like Brandon can attack the basket. Instead, they let the Lakers play according to how the Lakers play. Zubac stay down low, long ball, penetrate and then kick it out Zubac for a layup or a dunk. But there's Gobert right there to contest the shot. So in retrospect, that the strategy of what the Lakers did was not good. Period. Okay. You put KCP in over Josh Hart. That way you got somebody that's a pure shooter because right now KCP is the best shooter on our team. You don't bring somebody like that off the bench. And he's pretty good defensive-wise as well. He could have played Mitchell straight up. Josh Hart and freaking Beasley are two players that's on our team that loves, and sometimes Kuzma, loves to foul a person that's shooting that three-point, especially Josh Hart. It sticks like a sore thumb, and they know this. And that was like our biggest Achilles heel, that we were fouling guys on the perimeter, which is stupid. But when you play mixed communication defense where your man is not covering your man and you got to go out there and run out there at the last minute to actually contest the three-point shot and you round up falling into the guy, or, in this league, everybody flops. I don't care who you are because I'm going to talk about Kuzma to us in a second. When you do all that, what happened is you give the opponents opportunity to go to the free throw line and beat you at the free throw line, which the Utah Jazz were doing. But they knew about the Lakers, their messed up defense, and another thing is the Lakers, like I said, it was a mental breakdown with the coach and the players. You know, you didn't have a strategy going in against Utah. You don't watch tape. You don't watch film. I don't know if you do or not. I'm not going to say they do like I'm in the room with him, but it seemed like he doesn't watch it. Or if his staff watching, I don't know who's doing what. They're not watching enough film about how to play certain teams. All you have to do is put Zubac in there with KCP, right? You make Zubac come out, pull freaking Gobert out, and let Zubac take those little 10, 15-foot jumpers. The guy can shoot those jumpers. We noticed when he first got drafted. If you go back and watch some of his tapes back when he played with his European team, he was shooting some of them jumpers. He can't shoot the 3, but he can shoot 10, 15-foot jumpers. Which meaning, like I said before, if you get him to remove Gobert from the paint, then people like Brandon Ingram and Kuzma can attack the basket more. Because now when they attack the basket, if Gobert come over to help out, that means you have Zubac wide open for a 10-foot jumper. You got to have consistency with your players, and you got to trust in your players. And that's the biggest problem with the Lakers. Like I said, I would have had KCP starting with Kuzma. Not saying Kuzma could have started, but I would have had Kuzma come. I mean, I'm sorry, not Kuzma. Zubac. I would have had Zubac coming in off the bench behind JaVale McGee, which he did, but he just didn't strategize it right. We basically played into Utah's game style. We didn't run the ball. Like I said, we ran the ball. They kept fouling us. You know what I mean? They didn't get out on the breaks. That's what the Lakers are good at. That's why in the last 2 games that the Lakers won, they ran because they got out on the break. Here, Utah made them slow down. They did the same strategy with the Spurs do. Spurs are known for that. The Spurs, Greg Popovich, I keep saying, is one of the best coaches in the league. If you look at the Spurs, remember when the Spurs was like at the bottom with the Suns? Look at them now and look at their ranking and where they're at as of now. They're beating good teams now because they're starting to buy into Greg Popovich style of play, especially DeMar DeRozan. I know this ain't the Spurs, but I just want to talk about it. The Utah Jazz take the same strategy. What you do is you slow the players down, slow the opponents down to make them play into your strategy. That's where Luke Walton still need to understand when it comes to coaching that you don't play into their strategy. You make the Lakers play into their strategy. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you got to look at the matchup and say, you know what? This ain't working. Let me try something different. I'd have brought KCP in. That's my thing. Because now with Lonzo Ball penetrating the ball, being a Lonzo Ball bringing Ingram hand, that means somebody like KCP is wide open. Those shots that Josh Hart was missing, KCP would have hit him. You know what I mean? And then Lonzo Ball would have, he would have found KCP. Because KCP is coming in with that second unit and also sometimes with the starting 5. But because we are so much beat down, and then you got players like Kuzma and Brandon Ingram who go on ISO. When they both went ISO in this game, it breaks down the whole chemistry of what they're trying to do. Neither one of them had a pass. And here's the thing about Kuzma and Brandon Ingram. Remember I told y'all in the last game where Kuzma went off for 41. Even though Luke Walton was pleased with what he did, he still want him to pass and be more effective as a team player. When you're hot, I said it before, when you're hot, you go to the hot hand. At this point in time, they didn't have it. I would have been brought Beasley in. Beasley probably was the only guy that really actually played pretty good. Like I said, Brandon played pretty good at the beginning, but once he went to the free throw line and started missing the free throws, mental capacity started striking in where he just basically checked himself out. When you go to the free throw line is your worst enemy. You're not making them shots. It will kill your whole demeanor about how you how you actually come towards playing the game out. Strict. That's how it is. Beasley looked pretty good, and I said that him and Kuzma would probably play pretty good on the floor together. And I kind of reneged on that because I said, well, if they do that, that means they got to go small ball. I'm not a big fan of the small ball because that matchup is terrible. When I'm seeing Gobert playing Kuzma or playing Beasley, we already knew we're in trouble. That means you don't know what to do. You don't know how to match up. You don't know what to present. This is the main reason why, if you look at last year, when we had Brook Lopez and Julius Randle, Brook Lopez actually bailed them out in a lot of games because Brook Lopez can shoot the 3. And when he shot the 3, remember I told y'all guys before, when you got a center that can shoot 3s or shoot jumpers, it makes the defense on it because then they got to come out, that center got to come out from the paint and play the likes of Brook Lopez. That's why I said at the end of the day that they need somebody like Zubac to let them know, like, listen, man, I want you to take them jumpers if you're open. We don't have to attack the basket all the time. Because that way, Gobert had to come away from the paint to play Zubac. A.K.A. like Brook Lopez. He's not, like I say, he's not going to hit the 3, but he can take that jump shot. So you remove the center from the middles. That way, our players can attack the basket. The Lakers are known for scoring in the paint. Utah took that away from them. So when you take that away from the Lakers, they're just a shadow of themselves. There's nothing you really can do. That comes down to coaching and the mentality of the players. The mentality of the players based on the fact that they're not aware of what's going on the court. And then the coach who's not understanding the matchups and how to utilize these players. Strength and weaknesses. That's something that we as a team lack when LeBron James is not present. That's why I said before, and I say over and over again, as long as the Lakers can stay in the mist You know what I mean? Just stay right there, because like I said, even if we fall out the 8th spot and go like 9th or 10th, we still in the playoff hunt, because you can win 3 games straight and be right back in the playoff hunt. That's how crazy it is. So we're not out of it. It's not like we're getting beat badly, because you look at the standings, we're right there. So if LeBron James come back soon, or Rondo, one of those 2 veterans come back, we're pretty much okay. We just got to win some games, not lose a lot, but win some games. So I'm not going to be crying wolf because, you know, we lost this game against the Jazz. As long as the Lakers come back and win 1, win 2, whatever it may be, as long as we stay right there in the midst of it, we're still good. So before fans start panicking and throwing in the towel or calling it Rocky, hey, Rocky, help me, Rocky. You know, before you start acting all crazy and all that, I'm not going to go with that. I'm not going to be one of them quick fans to say, you know, trade the whole team for AD or get this player for that player and all that crazy stuff. To me, you're going to ride with this ship, and you're going to sink with this ship. We've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years, so why all of a sudden now we want to start throwing in the towel and all that? Even if you get AD, there's no guarantee you're going to beat the likes of the Golden State Warriors. Let's be honest. I'm just being real with you guys. So right now, at the end of the day, we just ride with the ship, hoping that LeBron James and Rondo, one of them guys, come back to help lead these guys when it comes to veteran leadership, because right now the Lakers, the players and the coach need help. I'm just being honest. The players and the coach need help, because Lou Walton is, to me, I've been saying this over and over again, he is more of a veterans coach more than a developing young players coach. He don't know how to develop these young players, because it's said that they, you know, you got players that go to other teams and they start to flourish and start to look way better than when he was under Luke Walton's helm. That's just me, because Luke Walton is just a rookie coach. He's always going to be that until I start to see development from him. That's why I say the inconsistency is one of the biggest problems with me when it comes to Luke Walton. And I'm always going to look at Luke before I look at the players. The only reason why, because I said it over and over again, the players are only as good as their coach. With that being said, it's your man Urban Lover. Well, first and foremost, man, I skipped something, because I said I'm going to talk about something and I forgot to speak on it. I forgot to expound on it. What was I about to speak on? Because y'all made me forget what I was about to say. Jesus, man, what was I? Oh, let me call. I ain't calling it name. Oh, anyway, but let me say this real quick. And like I said over and over again, we have to just basically stick with what we have and just basically deal with it. At the end of the time, once we deal with it and focus on what we need to do in order to make this team better, we can ride on that wave. But other than that, man, it's not too much the Lakers can do. We just got to win games and just stay right there in the pack or two. Oh, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I want to say this. I want to know, is LeBron James' injury more than what we think it is? It's kind of like crazy. Like, the Lakers are cursed, man. Like, we finally get a superstar that wants to come to LA, never been injured, come to LA and didn't get injured. Kobe Bryant left out on an injury. We get a top star player who goes out on an injury. Haven't been back since. I don't know, man. And then Rondo, another veteran player who won a championship, injured. I don't know, man. It's just crazy to watch. You know, to watch our players, man, to watch our team, man, go through this this turmoil. I'm just hoping that we get turned around, man. We turn around, it'd be pretty good. But it is what it is, man. Anyway, it's your man Urban Lover. Like, share, subscribe. It's something I forgot I was supposed to say, man. But I'll figure it out when the video come, or I'll drop it in the comment section or something. But it was something I was supposed to talk about. It was one of the starters. I just totally forgot what it was. But anyway, listen, y'all have a blessed one. Take care, and most of all, please be safe out there.